What's up YouTube? For today's video, we have a full worst dragon Pokemon team. Man, what I did right is I've been doing some community posts and you guys voted on this one. We had 37% of our overall votes. So I thought I'd include this community team in tonight's video. Now people, what do you think is the worst dragon type Pokemon and what one do you dislike the most? Leave below in the comment section. I want to see what the most disliked dragon is. Now what I did is I actually based this off a lot of things. I voted this off polls, votings from polls, forums, a hell of a lot of things. So this is not my opinion, this is the general opinion of the public, and I'll give the reasoning of course for why these Pokemon were in this team. I want to say I like all the Pokemon used in this video too, and let's get into it. This was a battle against Leaf Surfer on my Discord. That Discord is in the description of the video. Okay, so we have a special Pimpnite going for the Focus Miss, which actually lands this time. Now I've got a Druddigon lead. Now Druddigon lead was a Dragon Claw, Sucker Punch, Iron Tail, Fire Punch set. We've got Ability Sheer Force and an item Assault Vest. Max Health and Max Attack EVs. Okay, so we got Infernape, which is fairly interesting. It's got Slack Off. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Now the reason Druddigon, a lot of people had a problem with its design and its competitive use. It didn't get a lot of competitive use, and its design, a lot of people said it was an ugly design. I actually don't mind it, to be honest. It kind of looks like, a lot of people said it looks ugly or it looks like a Digimon. I don't know, that's just what come up a lot of the time. I don't mind its design. It sort of looks like a gargoyle to me. Anyway, so we got a Slack Off Inferno trying to storm me out. However, it's going to miss with a Focus Miss, and it's going to go down to a very salty start there for Leaf Salt Surfer. Anyway, so we got the Ordina coming. Now, I was like, I wonder if this is going to be Mega. Let's go for the Iron Tail and see. And thank goodness they went for the Mega Stone. And they're going to Digivolve into the Mega Ordina. So I went for the Iron Tail, hoping it would hit. I knew that it wouldn't take it out in one shot, but it would do some really solid damage. So now it's going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. I've got the Assault Vest, so I'm going to be able to tank that one really nicely. Iron Tail connects, which is beautiful, and that is a definite 2-hit KO. Now I was thinking, well, I may go for a swap, so I could go for Dragon Claw, but I didn't want to risk it in case I did stay in and to go for a Wish or something like that. So I went for the Iron Tail again. That's going to miss against the Swanna. So Swanna's going to be a physical set with Brave Bird. I was thinking of going for a Sucker Punch, but I thought, nah, let's go for Dragon Claw, then I can go for Sucker Punch afterwards. However, they're going to be able to bust through my Druddigon and take me out. However, it did a pretty good job. Got around that Slack Off Inferno. Alright, so it's going to take a little bit of damage. Now, obviously, we had Goomy on this team. Out of all the Pokemon, out of all the Dragon-type Pokemon, this came up a lot. It does not resemble a dragon at all. Now, I want to say one thing too, people. I know all the dragon Pokemon have like a Japanese origin from 69 years ago. We know that. We know the history of all these Pokemon. I was trying to base this one off like face value. You know, does that look like a dragon? Like, what's that design? Like, how is it competitive? Those sort of things that I was looking for in the votes and forums and polls, those sort of things. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to take that out with the counter, which is going to wreck that. Now we got the Malamar coming in. I have the Toxic. Misses! Oh, that was really big there. That was actually a really big miss. And now Malamar's going to be able to go for the superpower, boosting its attack and defense. So I've got to get rid of this thing now before it snowballs in boost. That Toxic really was annoying. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my turn. Now, this is meant to be called 7th Gen. I was rushing before stream and messing the nickname up. So someone will say in the comment section, they'll be like, you didn't realize. Anyway, so we're going to go for the Rock Slide against me. They're going to do some heavy damage and they flinched me. It's like, bugger. There wasn't much I could really do here. I really had to get a Toxic up. That was so important. Rock Slide misses the second time, and I'm able to get the Toxic up. So I guess that was a little bit of karma for missing the first Toxic, right? So I know after this one with the Leftovers Recovery, depending on whether that was max or min damage, I can leave another Rock Slide, maybe just, and then try and get a Rest Sleep Talk off. This was a very bulky Turtonator set. Let's go over what that was. So we've got Toxic, Fire Spin, Rest and Sleep Talk. Ability Shell Arm, obviously, we've got Max Health and Max Special Defense this time. I just live on 5 health, and guess what, guys? I don't get flinch, and I'm able to go off the rest, and that's going to heal me up nice and good there. So I've got the Toxic racking up some damage too. That's really going to be the only way to take this Malamar out. Maybe if I'm lucky, I might be able to get a Fire Spin up too for some extra damage. Okay, so this one I normally go like Max Health and Max, I normally do like a Max Health, Max Defense one, but I want to run like a Special Defensive one because it actually has a nice base defense stat. Okay, anyway, it's going to go for another superpower, boosting its attack. I'm going to be fast asleep. So I was really hoping here I could get off a Fire Spin and do some, like, at least some damage to it. And for me, I get the rest. I totally never saw that one coming. So getting some more Leftover Recovery. Now I'm going to go down to whatever this throws at me. If it's Rock Slide. I think I might just barely be able to live a superpower unless they go for another superpower and take me out. So I was thinking they might go for Rock Slide. They went for the Psycho card. I was like, okay, that's probably going to take me out. But I managed to live on 10 health. And guess what, guys? I'm able to get another Sleep Talk rest off here. And this time actually get the Fire Spin instead of rest, which is, that's awesome. And it lands too. So it was minimal damage, but it was good. A little bit extra damage. And the Fire Spin damage at the end of the turn was kind of what I was going for too. Okay, so Malamar is definitely going to go down the next turn. So is my Turtonator, but the main thing was I actually was able to shut this down. If I did get that Toxic on the Goomy before, I would have just been able to go for Fire Spin and it's gone to sleep right away. Anyway, that's my Turtonator down. However, I got rid of the threat, which was the Malamar. That almost swept my team. I was very lucky. Like, if I missed that Toxic on the Turtonator, that would have been game there. So, we got a pretty even battle. We got both half our teams are gone. Now we got the Omega Ordino coming in. And now we've got the Alolan Executor. So for if I didn't say Turtonator, it didn't really resemble a dragon at face value. That's what kept coming up a lot of time. Plus, a lot of people didn't like its design. So anyway, we got the dragon tree here. So obviously it's after a dragon tree, but really it doesn't resemble a dragon at all. It's a coconut tree. And, it definitely doesn't look like a dragon at all. But I know it's a dragon tree. I know that. But it definitely on face value does not represent a dragon at all. So that's why it kept coming up. I love Alolan Executor a lot. Anyway, so we got the Dazzling Gleam and I got the Woodhammer Recoil, which is going to take us both out. So a double KO. That was the reasoning behind Executor. So the next one we got is Mega Ampharos. By no means this is a bad Mega at all, but it really doesn't look anything like a dragon at all after Mega Rolling. It just looks like a bigger sheep, really. That's what came up a lot too. I know that, once again, I know there's Japanese backstory to every single thing about this, so I just thought I'd bring that one up. It came a lot as not looking like a dragon. I mean, it really doesn't, look at it, doesn't look like a dragon at all. Anyway, so we got the Roserade going for a Z move here. Now, this is going to be a Poison Z. I'm not sure. I think it's coming off Sludge Bomb. That's usually what these carries. Now, I went for the agility here. This was a bulky. Actually, no, it wasn't that bulky. I was kind of relying on its base bulk. This is a sweeping set with agility, and I couldn't really make use of my strategy much here. This is a Electro Ball, Agility, Thunderbolt, and Dragon Pulse set with Ampharosite as the item. Max Special Attack and Max Speed. So the idea is to get faster than the opponent and then use the Electro Ball. I get a big Dragon Pulse crit there, and I knew Roserade was going to actually be able to live that one, but that crit actually mattered a lot in this game because I didn't really have much to actually hit that with afterwards. So their last Pokemon is Stunfisk. There's a little bit of Salt there. And speaking of Salt, I thought, well, let's leave Mega Ampharos for a little bit later on in the game. So now we're going to go into Altaria. Once again, doesn't really look like a dragon. It's that's what kept coming up a lot. Definitely its general features being like a cute, cuddly dragon or clouds. I mean, really, it doesn't really depict the of a dragon. So anyway, going forward, especially its Mega Evolution too. It's another one. Obviously, I can't use 2 Megas, so that's kind of why I used it. But definitely, I like this Pokemon. But these are the reasons that it was coming up all the time. So now I'm going to go for the Perichong on the Stunfisk. That is their last Pokemon. They cannot swap. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any trapping kind of moves, so I didn't have block or something like that, or Fire Spin, Whirlpool, anything like that. So now we got the Stunfisk going for the Discharge on me. It doesn't really matter because all I need to do is just survive these turns, and I still got my Mega Ampharos in the back for me to win the battle. So now I'm just going to go for the switch here, expecting maybe another electric type move. I know Ampharos can take this one. Then I was just going to do a double swap back into Altaria for the Earth Power again. So it's going to go to the Thunderbolt, not the Discharge. My apologies. I'm going to be able to live this one because I resist that and I'm very, very bulky. Stunfisk doesn't have the greatest special attack in the world either. And now I can go back into my Altaria, and that is game. I hope you guys enjoyed this first battle. It's good to use some of these Pokemon too. I guess definitely a lot of them were based on design, right? That's what I found a lot with the Dragon-type Pokemon. More competitive use was sort of based around Druddigon and Turtonator, but I mean, they do have their quirks too, and I like those Pokemon, but they were the reasons that came up a lot with people, mainly the design. That was a big one, design. So anyway, we have another battle. This one was on my Discord. This was against Scarlet. So we have another Ordino, hoping this time he was not going to be a Mega one. So I'm leading things off with Dragon Tree this time. I was thinking, well, I don't really want to take a Fairy type move or any status or anything. So I'm going to go into Turtonator, see if I can trap this thing in with some Toxic. However, the Ordino is going to go for the Trick Room. So it's going to be a Trick Room base team. Now, they did actually run a theme team here. What theme team were they running? Let me know in the comment section of the video. Now, also, I was going to ask, if you do like these Pimpnite community votes, give that like button some love. That way I know you guys want to see this again. And if you want me to do the votes each week, I can. Like, normally what I do, right, is I have a whole bunch of theme teams, and I'm like, okay, like, which one do you want to see the most? Which one interests you? So I try and put those ones out there, the most interesting ones. So going for a Toxic on the Sableye, which is really good. It's quite a stally Pokemon. So I've got that up. Now I can go for the Fire Blast. Sorry, not the Fire Blast, the Fire Spin. Sorry, getting my fire moves mixed up. Now, this is interesting. So we got the... you might be able to guess what theme team they're running now just from the two Pokemon they've sent out already. But I don't know. You might be able to, you might not. But I kind of guessed it at this point ago. So now we got the Sableye going for the Carmine. So I'm like, okay, that's really good because I can go for the Fire Spin now. That's going to trap them in. Usually it has Recover instead of Rest, so I'm pretty good here. But don't worry, I've been surprised before with Rest Sleep Talk Sableye. Man, that was a nightmare to verse. Anyway, so it's got to go for the Power Gem. It's got a couple of Carmines up. My special defense isn't the greatest, even with Max, so it does a lot of damage to me. I'm going to get another Fire Spin up against the Sableye. So now I can opt to go for Rest here because the Trick Room is running out. It's going to run out the next turn. And the Toxic and the Fire Spin is going to be enough to take out Sableye the next turn, quite comfortably. So I thought, well, I could go for Rest. I won't sacrifice my Turtonator. And then the only bad thing about that is I will be asleep, so I may be prone to getting set up on. But I thought, nah, let's just go for Rest, heal myself up. They're probably going to go for a Power Gem again against Turtonator to take me up. Okay, so getting back to full health, now the Sableye is going to go for a Power Gem. The only thing I was actually worried about was a critical hit because that would definitely take me out. I lived that one. It actually did a little bit more damage than the first Power Gem, so I say that was the first one was like min, yeah, and I'd say that was probably max. Okay, so Sableye's going to go down to Toxic, and that is good, getting rid of that bulky Pokemon. Now we got another Pokemon coming in. So you definitely should by now know what team this is. So we got Delibird coming in. It's going to go for a Drill Peck, but it misses Hustle. Man, Hustle is such a troll ability. It helps you out so much, but then it can lose you the battle too. So going for Sleep Talk, guys. I actually don't get Rest. Oh, mate, I do get Rest. Boom, boom. So I get Rest. So that was the most practical Pokemon turn I've ever seen in my life. So Drill Peck misses from the Delibird and I get Rest. So now Delibird actually connects its beak into my shell and it's going to take me out. There's not much I could have done about that. I really didn't want to swap anything else into because Delibird commonly has Ice Punch, right? And I'm running, a Dragon type team, so that's very scary. So now I'm going to go for Protect just to see what moves this is actually going to throw at me, whether it be Ice Punch or Ice Shard. Both of them it can commonly have. So it's going to be Ice Shard. So on this set, this is the counter set that you guys have seen before a couple of times. I'm going to go for counter this time, and now the Delibird is going to go for Ice Shard. The only thing I was worried about is if the Delibird actually missed with Ice Shard, and then I revealed counter. So that would be really bad. So thank goodness that didn't happen. And now Delibird is going to go down to the Goomy counter, taking out the Delibird. So that was, guys, I got rid of the threat. I got rid of the Delibird threat. I was just going to use Ice Shard 6 times in a row and take my whole team out. So now we got the Ordino coming back in. I'm going to go Toxic on this set, or I can go for Flail. Decided to go for Flail instead because Toxic's going to miss again. And now we got the Ordino go for Trick Room. So this whole team is based around Trick Room, right? So I'm guessing that was it could have been like a max health, max attack Delibird. I'm not sure. So now Dazzling Gleam from the Ordino, and that's going to take out my Goomy. But that's cool. That's all good. Now, with Goomy's evolution, I feel like its evolutions could fit a dragon more than Goomy itself. It doesn't even look like a dragon at all. So now that definitely came out. That was the number one Pokemon that would come up out of all the votes and everything like that. So now bringing in my Druddigon, I get critted by Dazzling Gleam, so it's very, very obvious that I've got the Assault Vest on there because that should have done way more. Now Ordino's going to go for another Dazzling Gleam. I was kind of expecting them to go for a Mega, but they did. So now going for the Dragon Claw, and that is going to be enough to take out the Ordino, which is cool. So that's half the team down. I've still got I've got a handy lead at the moment. So now we got the key items coming out. That's a good name, which is the Clef Key. So go for Fire Punch. I really don't have loads to hit this thing with. Does some really big damage there with a Sheer Force Fire Punch. However, it's going to eat a berry, and that's kind of annoying. So now on their key set, they had Play Rough, which is a physical set, and that's going to be enough to take out my Druddigon. So nice, Play Rough, like I guess it's a fully physical keys. So now the Trick Room's going to run out. Now I can bring in my Dragon Sheep. So I was thinking I could go for Thunderbolt to just take this out, or I could go for Electro Ball as well, just to get rid of this set. Anyway, so going for my Mega Evolution. I know I'm using Megas, don't get used to it, people. The only reason I used this was the theme team, right? It was either that or Mega Altaria. Now, anyway, we got the swagger. It misses, thank goodness. Now I got the agility up. I took a risk here. I was like, I want to get this like electro ball set going. So I've got the agility. It does lose a little bit of speed too, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. Now the second swagger is actually going to land this time. Now, since I'm running a special one instead of a physical one, it's not going to do as much damage, but it's still going to do like a fair bit because it's got a nice base. Yeah, it hasn't got a bad attack stat. Anyway, so I'm going to hit myself in confusion. So I was like, oh, here we go. I need to get this electro ball off. Now it's going to go for the psych up. So not only is it going to hit me in confusion, it's going to copy my booster. It's going to be a physical set. However, unlucky for the clef key, I'm able to take it out with the electro ball. So that would have been bad. I would have got hit by a +2 play rough, which I'd say that would have actually taken me out or become very, very close. Anyway, so we got the clef key down. Now we got the bounce sweep coming out. Good to see our bounce sweep. Now there actually isn't like much I want to do to bounce. I feel it's going to be a troll set, so I'm going to swap that out, and I'm confused as well, so that's not a good situation, and I'm going to go into my Dragon Clay. So I had Endeavor, so it's probably got like a Focus Sash or something like that. I'm not really sure. I'm going to test it with my Alolan Executor. I was actually hoping they go for a swap here, and they did, thank goodness. I went for the Explosion on the swap, and we got the Porygon Z coming in. I was like, this is going to easily take out the Porygon Z. You know, Porygon Z doesn't have like the greatest defenses in the world, and guess what, guys? It just lives! Unfortunately, it's a bulky Porygon Z. It was actually a bulky Special Events Porygon Z, so it was running max health. That was the only reason that it lived. So my Executor is down. However, I still got my Fluffy Dragon left. And I've got my Ampharos left too. So I did have Moonblast on this set. This was, let me go over what this set was if I didn't already. This was max health, max speed, Parasol, Protect, Substitute, and Moonblast, Cloud9, and a Focus Sash. So taking out with the Moonblast, I'm disguising my Parasol. So once again, we got one more Pokemon remaining. The whole idea was this Altara was to leave it right to the end when they had one Pokemon left and you had like 2 left or whatever. Go for the Parasol, and Bounce Sweet is going to, well, it's definitely going to go down in 3 turns. So now Bounce Sweet's going to go for the Play Rough. Man, it's got Play Rough, super effective. It's going to be a 3-hit KO against my Altara. So my Perish count is going to fall to 3. I'm going to go for the Substitute now, just to stall things out a bit. I've got to get rid of those. Basically, Protect and Substitute to wait out those Parasong turns right. So I can't swap in my Mega Ampharos because it's going to get shredded by Play Rough from a Bounce Sweet. I can just go for Substitute and Protect right. So that's cool. The Perish count is down to 2 for both of us. All I've got to do is leave Ampharos in the back, and you know, it's another win. So go for the Substitute again. Bounce Sweet is not going to miss with the Play Rough. I was kind of hoping they missed it, but this is from the extra salt, and that's going to break my Substitute. So the last turn, this is the Parasong on both sides. We're down to our last turn. I thought, nah, I'm going to be like I'm going to be an arse here and go for Protect. So deny that Bounce Sweet, the KO, and then it's going to be a double KO to the Parasong. So go for a Scumbag Protect there right at the end just to rub a little bit of extra salt in. And that one is game. I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. And make sure you check out the bonus battle at the end. It's pretty cool. And I'll catch you tomorrow with some more videos. I do definitely have 1 team, maybe even 2. So I've got that one to look forward to. Okay, guys. Peace.
Thank you.